event to try to, resurge their season. Team Queso has been on the rise. You can tell the desk is feeling cheesy, but how much do they have left in the tank here in the lower bracket? We're getting ready for kickoff, Jordan. It's going to be an exciting series.
Yeah, the fans also feeling quite cheesy, and you can understand why. This team just rocketed out in the winter split, and they want to take that European crown. They want to challenge BDS again for it. Joyo starting it out, but it's taken away. Misfits standing in the way. This team is capable of playing against Team Queso. They've played against them in the group stage a couple of times, and it's been close between these two teams. Misfits known to play up to their competition, so I don't think you can count Misfits out of this one.
Absolutely not. These guys are battling, and Cash had a really good day yesterday. Got to see him come to life here in this series. Again, this Team Queso squad, some players in Europe call them annoying to play against, just from the mechanical ability and the way they can turn that into really good team plays. It seems like they have the special package, Jorby, and it's going to be a battle for Misfits to see how well they can combat against that.
Yeah, and one of the things they're going to contend with, in addition to those crazy mechanics, is that demo-heavy game that Queso are known to play. I imagine that's part of what makes them so annoying for so many other pros to play against. Misfits, high ball for Matane, back over to Cash, 2 challenges in front of the box. Nothing yet here for Misfits. Joyo's got protection on the ball and down the field.
And Joyo being able to carry that out. Even now, again, aggressive from Queso. Vatira went to take that corner boost. They're trying to set up so where they can starve Misfits, get on that offensive end. But Misfits doing a good job, protecting the ball, making sure Queso don't have too much room on their half.
Cash trying to force the 50 out. Arju right behind him. Misfits still in the blue half. And we saw them in their 2 series yesterday against Evil Geniuses and Guild, where they would stay in the attacking half for so long. They would get shots, but not enough quality ones. They're going to need to find the back of the net more often. You talk about Cash's shooting earlier. If he can pick it back up like he did in that series against Guild, Queso might be in a little trouble here early on, but they've handled things defensively well so far.
Defense has been pretty solid, especially on Queso. Matane gets a bump there. It's going to be off the bar, but no one there to get a follow-up. Arju and Cash kind of still waiting in the midfield. Arju still trying to get that through, but look at Vatira. That's going to be his 3rd save of the game. Again, always all over the field.
Another carry for Matane. Just a simple air dribble. Tried the 50 to get that ball across. Not the touch Cash wants. Arju's going to have to stay back as Rise has the catch. Rise tries to slip underneath. Arju pops it up. Vatira challenging him, but it's kicked back downfield by Matane. Only 14. Tried to get the flip reset, but not clean enough.
Yeah, needed a little bit more boost to be able to follow up that flip reset. And always trying to use those mechanics to, get in front of the ball and make sure, let's try to put my team in the best position possible. That's what he's thinking when he goes up with that. And if he has just like 12 more, maybe even 24 more, he could probably follow that up with a double. Arju's going to try just off the mark.
You have to watch out for Arju on those breakaways. He can sink them just like anyone else can. Given just enough space. Well, we're in a deadlock to start out the series. No one able to score yet. Rise forced out to the opposite side of his own half. Cash against the back wall. Matane waits for it. He got a bump onto Rise. Matane gonna grab the ball now against the backboard. Vatir is there. Next up is Arju. Cash right behind him. Goes off to the corner, but Joyo screens him out, and Queso's structure on defense keeps them scoreless again.
It's a battle for the ball, of course, but the silent one is the one that's going on for the boost right now. Teams playing aggressive to steal boost because, you see how many air dribbles we've seen so far this game, Jorby. These guys love going into the air. As you can even see right there with that double commit, they're using up a lot of boost. So whoever can get that control, which is why we see Queso move up so aggressively on offense, they want to be able to starve out Misfits so they can attack and just bang the ball, pass it in the air as much as they please. Misfits is doing a great job, though, of just getting these strong clears out and utilizing those pads upfield.
Queso trying to get the clear. They got a demo to give space. Joyo, only 1 boost in the tank. Chain dashes up and just missed the ball. Really wasn't a chain, just 1 wall dash, but Vatira gonna keep it going for Queso. Underneath, Cash follows him right through, follows up with a 50 in front, and Misfits won't make it easy for Queso. Back to the blue half. Oh, nice win from Matane in the corner. 2 touches in front, but no one from Misfits able to commit.
Yeah, that corner game always, so you have to be very careful. Those reads a little hard. Rise, though, that's a big 50 win. Teammates weren't necessarily expecting that, so they got to still play that from midfield out. And you can see the respect given on both sides. This is why we haven't seen a goal scored yet in game one. A lot of respect given as Misfits trying to make a pass play work. Cash has to reach for it. Wasn't the best pass. Defense will have to try to work again.
I thought RG might have had that double. End of regulation looming. Misfits gonna get back to this ball. Joyo pops it up high. And will Queso get an opportunity maybe? No, Arju and Matane close by. Overtime in game one. I believe Misfits, Daz, I think this is their 40th overtime this season. I might be wrong about that. I need a direct check on that one. But they've played a lot of OT, and here we go again in game one.
Oh, this one almost a short one. You saw that pinch on the challenge. Good, though, to get the save out. We'll see how they fare in this overtime if this is the 40th.
They've won a lot of them, too. I think going into yesterday, they were 70%. 70% of their overtime games were a win. So they're very comfortable playing in overtime. But with Queso, how much does a 70% mean? Well, probably not a whole lot. Here comes Matira, catches it underneath, but not enough gumption on it, and Cash can pull it away. Matane getting in the way as well. Queso on offense. Demo comes out, but Rise's touch wasn't good enough. Matira next up in midfield. Quickly jumping up as Matane, and Misfits will not let him have the space.
He's trying to get that space out. Just trying to work with the ball. But notice, you see Matira, again, playing this one low on the wall, going for that bump on Matane. Rise will score in overtime. Queso are going to come away with game one.
Queso's physicality gives them dubs time after time. Matane gets bodied out of the way to give Queso the first victory of the series. And Daz, that is where I think Misfits really got to be worried. It's almost like the kryptonite, if you will, of Misfits. They get outbodied so much when it comes to the physical game, and Queso are so good at getting those valuable bumps and demos when they need them the most. They got it on Matane and got themselves a nice win.
They started out this game with a lot of offensive pressure. I mean, they had the most shots. They forced the Vatira to get a savior medal really early on in this one. But when it comes down to it is, again, this play with Vatira, Matane has to have the awareness to know that Vatira at some point is not going to be able to play that ball out. Like, the pass isn't going to come in. So what he has to do is he has to recognize, okay, the bump is coming my way. I've got to be ready for it. And he just got caught out there towards the end. Either way, I think this was still a really good opening here for Misfits. They just got to get a little bit more aggressive on that offensive end, get more control on the ball.
It was really tough because Queso were playing solid defense the whole time. Misfits tried a couple of different passes. They tried to win those tough 50s on the back wall, but there was always a follow-up guy ready on Queso to take the ball out and protect it. So Misfits have to find a way to break through that defense as we head to Forbidden Temple. Queso looking ahead again. If they win this series, they've qualified for the Los Angeles Major. Matane, challenge in front for Arju. And Misfits want to start out. Matane a demo on the Joyo on the backside. Arju trying to weave around that corner, just too long to get around to the box.
So, Misfits, again, trying to get back into it. Overtimes haven't been faring them well so far this tournament, Jorby. 5-7 for them. As you were close, but that last one was their 38th. So almost at that 40 mark. But for you, I know it feels like 100 at this point.
About, yeah. I mean, it's always close with this team, and they play up to the competition, and you can say they play down to their competition. Either way, Misfits just always look a little uncomfortable whenever they're playing, and the times when they do look comfortable, when they're in control, well, they need a little bit more. Again, that Queso defense already giving some issues. Vatira, nice touch against the corner. But Matane's got a little bit of space here. Tries to get over Joyo. He does. Not a lot of power behind it. But this is a good set for Misfits. Arju can't get back to it and rises on the backboard again. They cannot break through Queso.
Queso's defense is honestly really good, especially when you look at Vatira. A lot of times he's been able to get saves, immediately bring the ball upfield and turn that into something for Queso to work with offensive-wise. Even that, like, that clear into the dunk, so much space now given to Queso. They have the field to work with, and that's a free ball up front. Cash will go up for it, but if somebody from Queso is much closer, let's say Joyo, I mean, it turns into Misfits having to defend a shot on their net.
Yeah, that transition can happen so quickly. But Cash getting in front of it again and following up these touches well, but Arju couldn't go in for the shot, pulls wide, and he did get both Joyo and Vatira to bite, but they got all of it. Here comes Vatira one-on-one, doesn't get a solid flick, and Cash has an easy save.
Still though, comfortable. You can tell when he picks up the ball, gets the flip, still gets the pop-up, like, he can easily, like, there's no one challenging him. He has a lot of space, but he still wants to try to mix it up to get past Cash. Good defensive stop for Misfits, but they also have to keep in mind how Queso's feeling. They look very comfortable in game 2.
They were able to boom the ball downfield. Misfits maybe can get set up. That's not the best touch from Joyo, but the shot can't come. Immediately defended off the back wall. Now Joyo again, off the backboard. Gets the first 50. Cash is there, but Rise follows it up. And they really can't get by Queso on these defensive challenges, no matter what they do. And sometimes they're just throwing the ball out and there's just nothing, Daz.
Yeah, they had Queso low on boost as well. It looked like a prime chance to strike. But again, when it comes to like some of these midfield touches, I think they take a little bit too much time to try to control it. And next thing you know, you see Queso with a boost. And you see a play like this. Rise will try to put it top corner. Cash gets back in time. And Arju will get that out of dodge.
Oh, that was a jump and pray moment for Cash. Vatira had the flip reset. You're thinking, oh, he's going to sink that upper 90, but it just bounced off the post and Cash just jumps in front to block the double? That was nuts. And then to get the follow-up right after that, Queso aren't done, but Arju keeps Misfits safe, gets Rise off the play. Vatira misses it, and Misfits can't find the net. Rise has a little bit of space to get out, but Queso in danger, and Rise gets them out of a tough spot.
This is, I mean, you look at Matane, Arju doing a great job being able to carry this out. But one thing I want to focus on here is Cash. Cash has the most saves right now. He's been doing a prime job. Matane, no, he had a free shot and missed it just off the bar. He's gonna want that one back, Jorby.
And nobody jumped either. If it could have been just a few centimeters down, you're talking about a Bardowski. Instead, popped it back up. Rise has regained control of the ball for Queso. Up next is Joyo, but knocked away by Arju. Now Matane, just a pot shot, trying to catch Vatira out. Gonna be tough to do. Wins the next 50, but that's gonna be Vatira's ball. The Misfits so willing to pull off, head back to midfield. They're not confident at all that they can get through these Queso defenders.
A little bit of a double commit there. Cash able to help out there. But yeah, you can tell a little bit antsy from the Misfits side, and it's not doing them any favors at all. Again, lack of offense here, only 4 shots and none coming out from Cash, who is leading right now the tournament in shots per game at 4.3. He's sitting at 0 so far.
Well, you're gonna need your striker, or someone else is gonna have to step up if he's not producing. And Cash able to shake the ball off of one defender, but ran out of boost on his way back to it. Matane just a hard kick. That's not going to get it done. Arju left all by himself as Cash is rotating back, and Misfits have to defend at the end of regulation. A demo for Joyo. No Rise, lost the ball, and Arju's got it. Misfits protecting the ball here. Does Cash want to play? No. Second overtime in a row, and the 39th for Misfits.
We'll get to 40 by the time this series is over.
I think it's going to happen.
We'll get to 40. Buckle up. Rise in the air, and that's dangerous. He's going low with it. Arju got a good read on it.
When Vatira rotated back in time, he's got no boost here. And, well, Matane ends up winning that touch. Arju jumps for it, and Rise gets in the way again. Matane's first to the ball. Goal! Misfits get the Game 2 victory in overtime.
He's not gonna miss that same shot twice. Popped up high in the air and just outdoes Joyo. Top left corner strike for Matane.
Yeah, missing that first one. You might be worried if he gets behind the ball again, if he can't find that accuracy. But like you said, on target and perfect for Matane. And that was another tight one. 2 games in a row, Daz, 0-0 overtimes. The defense of Queso, we've been talking about it a lot. They haven't really given Misfits, they've given them give, but not, they haven't broken at all. And Misfits, they tried everything in front of that net, finally breaking through.
Yeah, they finally, like you said, they were able to get through. Again, that's a really good save from Cash. He ended up getting 2 back-to-back, stepping up there defensive-wise. And you're right, maybe at some point it's not gonna, maybe like Cash isn't putting on the shooting numbers. Someone has to step up. Right now, it's looking like it's Matane. He's been the one that's had the most clear shot opportunities, and now he's starting to kind of find his form. So for Misfits, it's about building up on that. And then maybe later on along the line on the series, Cash starts to like awaken and get locked in. But Jorby, 2 back-to-back 1-goal games in this series. It's still a close one.
It certainly is, and I hope it's about this entertaining the whole way through. And so far, Rise boxing one out of the way. He's looked pretty good. He's gotten in the way of a lot of Misfits opportunities on defense, and even keeping them locked in the orange half. Okay, so we're going to need more of it here. Vatira popping that up, but Matane's all over it. Still Queso ball.
Whoa. Arju thought he was going into the air. He got hit to the ground really quickly. Joyo's heavy.
Ooh. That ball's light. Cash off the ceiling, and that was looking dangerous. Joyo got up there in time. And that's been the difference maker for Queso. They never let that shot actually materialize before they could get there themselves on the challenge. But here's another one off the bounce, and Cash will sink it. Misfits take the lead.
Look at the energy. Cash getting involved, finally able to get a goal in and put some shots on. That's a great pinch, by the way, from Arju to set that up. I mean, Cash being able to read that as well. Teams in sync at the start of game 3. That's what you want to see from Misfits.
And, you know, Arju probably gets talked about the least on Misfits, but he fills in the gap for this team time and time again, and helping Cash and Matane be successful. He does so here for Cash. And now behind Cash again, tried to force that ball out. Misfits in control. Matane demoed on the play by Rise. Well, Misfits will keep that ball away as Queso look for a way out. Matane cuts them off in midfield. Vatira forcing Cash to challenge him, excuse me. Whew. And Arju just trying to keep that ball away from Joyo. Not successful. Matane lines it up. Got the next 50, but Queso's still in control.
These 50s, this midfield's been wild. Teams battling for boost, and we're going to want to look at Cash here because he's got the most here coming out from Misfits, at least on this challenge. And look at him. He's just battling the entire Queso defense on the side while Matane and Arju are able to go back. This is really going to be key for Misfits to keep up that offensive pressure that they finally have. They don't want to throw it away. Ooh. Even this dive from Matane almost ended up in a goal.
Hey, jump from the midfield line to get to that ball. A little risky, but when you think about it, probably the best possible option in that scenario. Otherwise, you're talking at least a 2-on-1 the other way. Instead, Joyo got another catch underneath, bumped the player out. Arju trying to slow it down. And Matane forced back a little bit. Queso now with control again. Rise can't force the ball by Matane. Misfits gonna go again off the ceiling. Here comes Arju. Takes it low. Rise able to grab that ball. Queso in a tight rotation on defense. Joyo last back for his team. Has to keep this one close, and he does. He's over Cash. Big demo and a goal for Queso.
Big goal there for Queso to get back into it. You talk about the demo that sets this one up. Cash in a very awkward spot. Has to jump. There's no other option. There's no one back. It's an easy slot. Queso with the tie, and again, Misfits, I feel like this team is very momentum-based, Jorby. You see how excited Cash gets when they score, but you also see how emotional the team is when they get scored on. And it's about managing that. Queso, I feel like they understand it. They slowed down the pace of the game after Misfits got on the board, and then afterwards, they waited for their chance to strike. Pay it off.
Oh, the lead from Matane, and the shot just wasn't on target. And now they're in a race back onto the orange half. Here comes Joyo trying to beat them, but he's out of boost. Gets pull shot back up into the ball, and Arju takes it away. Matane following up closely. Arju trying to force the next 50. Not a bad idea, but Cash leaps from the back. Hits the next 50. Arju trying to find Matane, but that's a huge miss. Cash coming back to prevent the clear, but Rise has found Vatira down. Up against the backboard. No one finds the ball, and Vatira's gifted a double tap.
You can see the chaos in the Misfits defense struggling to find some control, but Vatira had control all the way through. Beautiful read to put that in the center of the net.
Oh, and that is a tough read if you're Matane. You have to jump back and find that read. It could go straight down. It could bounce a little out, a little to the side. That's one of the hardest areas to really read where that bounce is going to go. Either way, it's got to find a way to come up with that touch. Queso, here they come again. Joyo off the ceiling. He's still got control. Joyo almost got it through. Vatira's next up. Shot too high, but it's loose off the backboard. Denied again by Cash. And down the field, no. Matane has to play more defense. Maybe he'll get down the field now as Vatira and Rise have retreated, and they're back on offense.
Queso looks so scary right now. You can see Misfits, they're jumping for everything. You talked about the high shot for Vatira. I think he meant to put it that high, Jorby. Sometimes that extra shot, you can tell Misfits pre-jumped to where he was shooting. He tried to place it over him to get Rise a fair chance. And that's the level of control Queso have on offense in this game. They have Misfits at the edge.
Really commanding it for sure, but Misfits trying to win challenge after challenge to force their way to the box. But this defense is just too strong from Queso. Joyo moves down the field again, and Misfits just a little slower on the breakout. Rise waits on the ground to get the next challenge, forces the next one through Matane, steals the boost away. Now a shot for Vatira, up high, and save from Matane off the crossbar. Arju gets the clear downfield, but they need something now on offense. They don't got a lot of time to get it done. Cash puts it over one, and it dies again. Queso just will not give Misfits any kind of consecutive touches. Here comes Joyo, denied by Arju. Vatira waits. Cash forces the 50 out, but Queso still in control. Arju finally clears it out near the end of regulation.
Oh, play out Cash to Matane. They need something to work here in the final 10 seconds. You can see them trying, but these 50s being played really well for Queso. Arju, does he have enough boost? Not looking likely, and Queso will start to lead this series.
Such a defensive series. Quick clears from Queso, not letting Misfits set up shop at all. Only 3 shots registered on net. Daz, you talked about how comfortable and confident and in control Queso were. That's exactly what happened. The stat line certainly shows it. They had all the poise on defense, felt no panic at all in game 3.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw the pinch play from Misfits. That worked out really well, but they struggled to create any other opportunities like that. Meanwhile, Queso, once they started to get on the board, and once you saw even like that type of goal there for Vatira, anything Queso did on offense just scared Misfits. And the defense started to break down. You could see just like them kind of scrambling, Matane a little bit out of position a couple times. And from that point on till the end of the game, it was just Misfits struggling to try to reset, trying to, get an equalizer. It felt like they were having to manage Queso, but that's exactly how Queso want a team to play against them, because then they have all the freedom in the world. They can be in the air as much as they want to, and these guys love going in the air. Queso playing their game right now.
I think Joyo spent probably the most time in the air out of all of them. Oh, Cash, just a little too much momentum. It's given Arju. He tried to beat Vatira on that play, and Vatira is able to follow it. But Cash, again, Misfits, trying to get explosive at the start of game 4. As Matane gets the demo, actually turns off the ball. No one comes up with the touch, and that was interesting.
It was interesting. Oh, Arju got a flip.
Oh, Arju? Oh, Joyo's too good. Vatira pops it around Cash. Now he's got an open net. He just has to wrap around. Rise picks up the demo, and Vatira's missed it. But another demo. Rise forcing it across the box. No goal for Queso yet. But you felt like that one maybe should have been in.
Yeah, looking at Rise, I can tell Rise is ready to play that demo game. There was a kickoff play in game 3, and he tried to jump in front of Vatira. Vatira was just trying to play the 1v1, looking for the flick. Rise like, no. Let me get in front of you. And he's just itching to be able to get that bump play, making life hard for Misfits.
And that's dangerous, isn't it? If Rise is having that kind of confidence, and you know what you're going to get from Vatira and Joyo. Well, when Rise starts popping off as well, not that he doesn't, but there are some times where he just plays a little bit above what you're used to seeing, and that is what makes Queso feel like a world contender so far in the winter split. They look great. Misfits, I'm going to contend more Queso offense on the orange half. Joyo gets the pop-up, gets demoed, and Rise has the touch, but Cash got the save. Nobody can follow it up. Cash has to follow it up himself with the 50. Queso back in the corner.
He's out. Matane trying to just be aggressive on that, but no real follow. Oh my goodness, Vatira got past 2 with that. Cash is going to have to make a big defensive stance here, and will. But man, seeing Vatira be able to play that pass, that's got to give him and the team a lot of confidence.
Arju trying to keep that ball close. But again, that challenge right to Rise. Matane has to react and can't get the touch. Cash has to come in to support. And Misfits a tenuous hold on midfield, but Arju's won the ball. He might have the space. Big dunk for Arju. Misfits have the lead.
There they go. They're getting back into it. Arju, though, nice read off that pinch. Good follow-up into the dunk. You see Vatira just taking a little bit of an odd angle. Instead of just trying to hit the ball across, he intends to play the 50, already in a tough spot coming off of that post, and he plays right into Arju's hands.
And the biggest thing for Misfits now is keep your camera on a swivel. Queso are going to look for any option to break the defense, whether it be through bumps, demos, or just death by 1,000 challenges. Misfits have to keep that foot on the pedal. Like you said, Daz, very momentum-based team. And losing it at this point almost surely put the game right back into Queso's favor.
Yeah, but Queso getting a little scrambly. You can tell Joyo definitely called for a pass mid there, but the pass for Vatira coming a little bit too hot now. Things seemed a little rushed from Queso, but they have a lot of time left in the game, 2 minutes.
Popped up by Cash, just booming it down to the corner. Nice soft 50 from Matane, but Arju got caught out a little bit. Joyo's chasing him down. And the Queso transition in effect. Vatira misses, and Matane gets a big win to get Misfits back on the blue.
Matane putting in a lot of work. Arju, oh, pitches out, no way. Oh, just barely off target. I say barely.
Now Joyo. Yeah, no, he's carrying it downfield with Rise. Rise might have it. Off, where's Vatira? He's up in the air for it. Cash actually punched him off the ball, and it's on the loose side. Joyo has to wait for the touch. Misfits, they stop that transition dead in its tracks.
Oh, Rise at the ball. Vatira, a really close second, man. So is Joyo, though. That's not a good touch. But Vatira able to still keep control of the ball, and Queso still able to salvage this offense.
Oh, Cash trying to keep Vatira off that ball. Not successful. Pre-flip into that one as Rise catches the ball out. He's got a lot of boost. Keeps it in the air high, but no one can commit because Joyo got demoed. Vatira, 2 touches for him. Not on target. And Misfits, poise on defense, and maybe a little bit more confidence as Rise tries to get that ball out to Vatira. Now Vatira pops it over Matane. And Rise has to wait. They're going to challenge by Kump. They're just giving him the space, but quickly back to it is Cash. Not over. Off the backboard. Matane gets the next touch. Misfits hanging around. Vatira comes across. Back over to Rise. No, Vatira took it himself, and Matane keeps it down and low. Arju able to come up and clean up after Matane got bumped. And a tenuous hold again on defense for Misfits, but they've held firm despite about 40 seconds of offense from Queso. Nothing yet for him on the board. Looking for the tying goal. Vatira set it all up, but Joyo was playing too closely. No. Rise has to come in. Nobody's available, and Misfits get out again.
Oh, that might have been it. Joyo just too far forward. They're going to still try to salvage it, though. Final 15, counting down. They have the offense here.
Oh, shots up. Matane missed it off the crossbar. Somehow Cash got the save. Teed up again. Vatira's there. Back across the side wall. Hanging on our Misfits. Joyo, last chance for Vatira. Tried to put it across, but Joyo's too far back, and Misfits have tied it up.
Wow, even down to the last second, Queso tried to surprise Misfits. Out of everybody, everyone was in that offensive half. And Vatira just went for the shot. Almost actually scored it too, but you could tell even that caught Misfits out of for surprise there.
Yeah.
Even then, Misfits still able to hold it down. And everybody, again, stepping up here. This time it's Arju with the scoring. Cash has been consistently working on defense, and maybe that's just has to be the recipe here to keep Cash kind of back, have him use the mechanics to try to set up front, because no one took shots besides Arju that game for Misfits. It was 0 for Matane, and it was 0 for Cash, and they're kind of just sharing the possession, sharing the ball. Hey, if it's gotten them this far.
Yeah, I mean, they spent most of that time in their own half.
Yeah.
They had, 8 or 9 saves? So, but having to hang on to that and keeping that ball close. There was that one shot that you were talking about from Queso. That was really the only shot that I think they had a real chance at, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, heading to Wasteland Night now, it's the rubber match. Who's going to take it to series advantage to move on into the lower final?
Queso definitely looked antsy after that Arju goal last game, and you could see it. Now they have to try to reset. We know that this team has the mechanics. We know they can play fast, but sometimes they play too fast for their own good. They got to expose that game.
Oh, pop in front, Arju!
Fast. He's playing low and slow, and he got it all through the defense.
Yeah, he did. Matane keeps this one a little closer, makes the 50 happen in front, and it's awkward for Vatira as it bounces off the ceiling. Joyo playing it close, but there was no chance at all, and Arju gets the first goal.
He just jumps. It's just
after that challenge, yeah, it's all it needs. Sometimes all the hard work is done in the lead up to the shot. In this case, Matane putting in the dirty work. Hard clear, but nobody back for Queso. Rise actually getting back to buy a little bit of time for Joyo to recover.
It's got to be a sigh of relief here for Misfits getting that first one, because now you're going to see again Queso. They're not going to slow down at all. but it allows Misfits to kind of have a bit more of a say here and how the pace is dictated. Because they can let Queso play the ball into them if they're smart enough. But Vatira, he's going to put on a quick shot, forcing Arju to send that one quick into the sidewall. Not done yet. You see Rise looking for that double, but just not enough boost.
And Queso still in the orange half. Rise shaking the ball off Matane, looking for a bump on his way out. Nobody's directly in the net. Vatira might have just caught them out, but Cash dives back for a stop. Rise trying to cut them off. Joyo backing him up. Cash pops the ball out, but Joyo's on top of it. Matane back across to the 50, and Misfits, again, defensive posture holding on since game 5.
Yeah, we've seen all of Queso in the air. Wait, hold on. Rise trying to play that low. Oh. Joyo on the ball, too. You got to respect it. Vatira tried to come up again, and now it'll be a transition. This one, I want to talk about it, but you can tell, like, certain plays just not gonna be as not gonna get a chance to from all these potential offense that Queso's trying to build here.
Yeah. I mean, Misfits have done a great job getting in front of those passes, in front of the challenges, but Rise actually gets over one, and when they do get past that defender, the follow-up has been ready. Here comes the shot, though. No one's back to defend that one. The bar couldn't even save Joyo from getting the back of the net.
Oh, yeah, you can see Matane. He had the face palm on his head after that. He knows he gave that one up for free. Joyo's going to take that any day of the week. Now back to the drawing board for Misfits. And like I said, they had the control. They had that comfortability. It's gone now.
And for Matane, it's just got to be don't care, go next. You know, it's still tied up. And you can't let Queso sneak him back in. Do much for the mental, and a dangerous bounce as Cash ready for it and got back to the 50 as Matane gets bumped in net. Vatira has the close win in the challenge, and Rise gets demoed, but Joyo's up for the ball, and again, Met. Still, somehow Misfits are able to get in front of these challenges before the shot comes out. Matane's got no boost, and Queso didn't know it. Vatira trying to clear the ball. Cash forces the 50 and almost got through Joyo.
Almost. Being able to get that pinch. Matane up, trying to make amends for that previous mistake. Still, pressure. Cash here with a chance. Does he have to flip? Does he have to flip? Oh, he does! He's a menace, Cash!
Oh my goodness, Cash, look at this! Pops it above the ceiling, gets underneath it, no chance, Joyo! Saved his flip at the last possible moment. What a splash play from Cash!
It's a ginger menace. My God!
You can't stop him. In game 6, you can't stop him. Here comes Joyo across to Vatira, and it's denied. Arju pops this one up, or excuse me, game 5. We're not quite at game number 6 yet. As Arju trying to force that ball across. Joyo cut off by Cash. Misfits still on offense. Cash freezing Queso's defense to let Matane take it. No hit for Matane, and Arju's demoed. Cash coming in to buy some time. He even gets a shot on net. Matane's got a full tank of boost from the corner. Wants to get the bump. Floating around, and Matane makes himself as big as possible to clear the way for Arju.
Beautiful work here. Look at Matane staying on top of the ball, having Rise expect that Matane's going to go for a light touch. No, he's leaving that for Arju, and you can see it on the cams. They're coming alive. They're looking good. Misfits in full control of this game.
2 goals up now, and Queso left a little stunned despite having 9 shots on net, only being able to register 1 goal. Now Misfits getting a little antsy there with Cash. Vatira tries to get the clear out. You can't give Queso a centimeter, or they'll take a whole kilometer. Misfits are able to grab that ball again in the orange half, but now in position to take the lead in the series and put it on match point. Matane, hard shot saved by Joyo.
Still good placement, though. Getting it in that top corner. Shot confidence has been very strong for Misfits. And for them, it's coming at the right time, because they close this one out. Next is a match point situation. Arju will put a top corner lead block from Cash.
Misfits finally clicking, and they get out to a 4-goal stint here with 50 seconds left. Easy pickings for Arju. And now you're left wondering for Queso, what happened in this game that really got away from them?
They let Cash score. Ooh, that's what it was.
That's true.
You see him on those in those cams. Every time the team scores, he's the one yelling. Again, that type of momentum given to Misfits, and they can become out of control for any team. And you're seeing it even here with Team Queso. Again, They just don't have an answer for it. They're running up the scoreboard here in Game 5.
You know, it was something that I think Scrub said on one of his streams one time where he's like, Misfits and scrims, they absolutely destroy us half the time. And if they play like that in a tournament, you know, they might go pretty far. But as we all know in Rocket League, scrims, they don't directly translate to tournament wins. It takes a while. Misfits, it looked a little rocky in those first 2 games, Daz, but I think they're really clicking now.
Oh, goodness.
They're in position to get a Brazil.
In the game. We got to go next because they're just going to keep running it up. Look at Rise is getting no respect on that ball. Cash instantly challenging him. Austin Franklin pinching your net. 18 seconds left now. You got to go. You got to wonder, do we see a tactical timeout coming out from Team Queso?
You know, if this had ended a little like 3-1, I would have said no, but maybe they will call a timeout after 6-1, but the game kind of got away from them after it was 3-1. And there it is at the end. They do get the Brazil as we head to series point, and Misfits close to being able to move to the loser final.
Yeah. And we got to play this last second out. It's going to be really what happens in between the next minute or maybe 2 minutes. But right now, it's all Misfits. What a game from them.
They really flipped it, and that is a timeout from Queso. Much needed. I know that tactical timeouts, when you're up 3-0, they're not, or when you're down 3-0, they're not very effective. But in almost every other scenario for tactical timeouts, I think it has at least provided a game win afterwards for the team that called it. So I thought it was a good shout out, Daz. Queso, they need an extra minute to breathe because Misfits were all over them. You have to stifle that momentum somehow. Icing them, I think, is the right call.
They gave up 7 goals in that last game, which is the most that they've ever given up as a team. And that, obviously that calls for, okay, we need to regroup because there's a bit of a breakdown going on there on the Queso side. But, you know, when you think about Misfits, they have it feels like they found the answer, which is just get in front of them, get in their face.
Yeah.
Queso, and especially we go back in the series, game 3, I'd say, again, looked super comfortable. They had the control on offense. They had Misfits playing scared against them. But Misfits is a team, again, they feel like they can turn it around. They feel like they can battle it every second. And now for them, the biggest challenge is keeping that energy, keeping that momentum going up into this next game, because you're right. They are going to get iced out here from this timeout. Them being a momentum-based team, especially when you look at Cash, you want him to be enabled. You want him scoring those goals, getting that flip reset that we saw in the last one. Those types of plays changed the entire team dynamic, and it made that game, and it could make the series for Misfits.
When that was unlike any game Queso has seen this season. 7 goals is the most that they've been scored on. I'm sure that would be a record for a lot of teams near Queso's level. But yeah, this is their first game where they allowed 7. And as we head to Neo Tokyo, I have a feeling that it's going to look a lot like games 1 through 4, Daz, where, 0-0, 1-2, something like that. Queso, they had such strong defense before, but like you said, those challenges and Misfits being so fast to the ball. Look, I'm gonna say, look, I know what Misfits kryptonite is. You just have to keep bumping them. You just have to keep trying to demo them. And then that's going to cause them to panic, because that's what's happened to them in almost every single loss that has happened to Misfits. Last regional, it was against Singularity where they lost 3-1 in the losers bracket. What happened in almost every single goal? It was off of a bump or a demo. So if you can make Misfits uncomfortable on defense, the snowball effect just might happen. And Queso might take this to Champions Field. We're underway. Last life for Queso in the Premier Cup. Can they force that game number 7, or do Misfits still got their foot down onto the metal?
Okay, so are they feeling cheesy or are they feeling chasey? Because we've seen them chase a lot, and sometimes it throws them out of position. Again, very speedy team, good offense, but they got to be on the same page.
Arju slips Joyo off of that ball. And Cash now, moving forward, gets the 50 against Fatira. Retain, full tank from midfield. And it's touched back over to Cash. Joyo couldn't get there, forces Joyo up to make the save. Matane keeping it close again, drops it for Arju. Shot on, denied again by Joyo. Next up is Cash against the backboard. He didn't have the flip reset, couldn't stay near it. Matane gonna pop it up high against the corner, but Rise is there to knock it dead. And 350s to kill Misfits attack.
Still working. Queso trying to get upfield. Those 50s slowing things down, but Misfits no stranger to it. They're more than welcome to play it. Like the recovery here from Arju, trying to get above. Got two sent out. Oh my goodness, Matane just late on that. That would have been an amazing play. Arju had it set up. I can't believe he got two on that bump.
Oh, pop downfield again. Joyo sitting only on 18 as he just keeps doing 360s in front of the box, waiting for a clear. Here he's going to get one from Rise. Now Rise trying to recover. And the ball's just Matane's, who was waiting. Now Cash coming up to take the 50. Arju grabbed that midfield boost as well. Misfits still swarming in the blue half. They pull off a little bit here, and Queso finally get a clear.
Look at that light touch from Matane to Arju. Knowing he has him behind him, trying to let him take control of the ball. Tom's got to be looking good here right now for Misfits. Still trying to find a way through. Queso definitely are huddled up on that defensive end. You see almost everybody on that back wall from them. And almost coming out Vatira with that quick shot. Arju will be able to clear it away for now.
And Matane also just trying to keep the ball close, making sure Team Queso don't get another free look at the ball in the third. Matane, that's a close touch to Cash.
Whoa.
But again, Queso getting to that fast. It was Rise and Joyo. Hard shot towards the target. Rise sets it up for Vatira. Goal for Queso.
Queso with the transition. Like I said, they were waiting back. They saw the moment to strike. Beautiful.
What a
tough touch there for Rise. Sets up Vatira with an open net perfectly. Arju was thinking there was a shot he had to block. No. Halfway through this game, Queso trying to force game 7.
Matane beat by Joyo on the play. Now clear back in front. Arju gets a massive clear. Forces Vatira up. There's few other players you would want in that kind of situation to grab that ball and protect it, but he can't get wholly by Misfits as Joyo pushes the ball down back to Rise. Another transition. Arju sets it down. Cash doesn't want to commit, and Joyo can get the follow-up.
And what I love about Queso, the awareness on the field, so good. Their last goal, Cash had a very ambitious third-man challenge. Didn't work out. Queso said, okay, we're sending everybody upfield. Sent Rise up, gave him a good pass. That type of stuff is great. But, Cash isn't done yet. He gets the read.
Tying up the game, and what happens to Queso on defense? Vatira misses that ball. Joyo's expecting a 50 to come out, and his launch isn't that bad as he comes across. He was coming from an awkward position to try to make up for no touch coming out from Vatira, and he just couldn't get it done. Cash got on the far side of it. That's a big goal for Misfits. Cash slips underneath, and Vatira's there to clean it up. Queso down the field as Vatira beats the whole team by himself, trying to get down. Joyo, last man, tried to protect the ball. Now Vatira got bumped. Matane, it's a race towards this ball. Can Matane get something convertible out of this? Comes across and can't force the 50 against Vatira.
Matane tried to kill that right in front of the box. Misfits aren't done yet. They are challenging aggressively. Arju almost got a piece of that ball. And now they have to play a little bit of defense. Getting really tense in game 6.
Vatira, not the best catch, but he does win the 50. Now trying to get the demo. Cash ends up demoing him. Rise off the ceiling, underneath. He got the flip on the 50, but Matane pops it up. Joyo can't get there. Vatira's next up, and it's too high. That'll be easy for Misfits to clear. Arju, no boost, so Queso gonna get through without a 50. Vatira actually having to race back. Every touch Queso are giving Misfits is just throwing right back to the blue half Daz.
They are. Misfits good at keeping calm, saying, okay, this is what we need to do. Getting it past Queso on that midfield control is a tough task. They've managed it well, but here comes that transition. Rise on the ball. Flick. Has it, but it's too high. Joyo committed as well. This might go the other way.
Joyo actually got bumped as well. Matane, 30 boost. Can he get the 50? He does. In front, the shot denied before it could happen by Rise. Arju protecting the ball.
I thought RG was going to really take to the air there. He had everything lined up, but instead he tried to slow it down. I think he's just trying to buy his teammates some time. That's a big pop. Matane barely reached that. Arju again. What's he going to do? This time he's going to go for it. Off the ceiling.
Arju
has a flip. Gets it, but that's going to bounce out, and it might hit the ground. It will. Game 6 overtime.
Another one, the 40th for Misfits. And probably the most important overtime of all of them. Here come Queso at the start of OT. Can they get it? Save. Arju got it. Vatira's got the next try. Vatira pop up on the air dribble. Last man bumped in net. That was Matane, but Vatira couldn't get a good handle on it. Cash keeping it away from the rotation, but Rise is already there. Rise gonna slow it down. Matane can't get the touch. Here comes Rise. Gets straight down. Joya wanted to follow it up, but has to protect the clear. He gave it up to Vatira. Vatira's got the flip reset. Goal! Queso are on to Champions Field.
He's disgusting. Pop out. You give him this chance, he's not going to miss it. Flip reset pass Misfits. Load up Champions Field. Queso and Misfits are headed there.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, going to overtime is probably the worst thing that could have happened to Misfits. They were in such a good rhythm. By the end of regulation, they were able to control midfield. And then as soon as that ball hit the ground and they went on to kickoff, Queso totally just grabbed the leash and just ripped Misfits off the stage. And we're going to game 7, Daz. I gotta say, I thought it had potential. And I know chat was like 85 to 15% in Queso's favor. But I just want to ask everybody in the chats across the world out there that voted for Queso, are you feeling a little nervous? Or are you feeling a little better? Daz, I have the same question for you. Game 7, who's got the momentum?
Oh, God. I mean, I think a lot of people feeling cheesy right now, Jorby. I'll say after that flip reset, it looked like such a desperate play because Joya went for that pinch out, but Vatira, he caught it on a reset, got the reset. When you do a play like that and clutch up, you can't help but think that Queso have the momentum here. It's going to be an intense game 7.
Vatira has put his team in such a solid position so many times. Absolutely nutty player. And his team just as nutty. Queso trying to move on, but it's Misfits who deliver the first blow. Matane gets the goal.
It's a big blow, too. You see him light up on the cans after they score. Just, again, that bounce out. Just enough space for Matane to get there. Queso got caught out on that one. Can't let that happen again.
Queso, not as many demos from them in this series overall, but as far as the season goes, they are second in demos per game in the entire league. So maybe if you think Queso, if they have a way in, they've got to get back to that physical style that works so well. We've seen it to effect in this series that has gotten Queso wins. Misfits, you know they're good at hanging on to a 1-goal lead because they've also done that a couple times now. As Arju gets the clear out, Vatira has to wait, but he's going to get demoed, and Arju tried to avoid it. Can he get the ball? He fakes Rise out, and Misfits on the board by 2.
Unbelievable. This is all Arju here. Well, Cash, I mean, he takes out one. I can play. Look at that. Oh, no. You can't have that hesitation in a game 7. You just got to go for it.
Too close. You just got to dive. Rise, he did not know what to do at all. And now Vatira. They're going to need something to put them closer to an equalizer, and they're going to get 1 goal towards that as Rise gets the one here.
We're seeing this happen right now in a game 7. We haven't seen 3 goals scored in the first minute ever in this series. And we're seeing it right here. Rise, good shot placement. That's going to be big for bringing Queso back into this.
And Misfits, you can't let 1 goal shake you to hang on to that lead. Cash popping this ball up. He might have a chance at it off the ceiling. Not before Joyo can get there and make the challenge happen. Another demo. This time Rise got it. Joyo's already downfield, but not really in a position to do much with it. Vatira plays it low. Arju can't shake the ball off of him. Cash also looking for a way out. And another clear for Misfits.
Misfits at this point, got to keep that consistent play up. There's way too much time left in this game. Queso will make a play on you. So at this point, again, building up on the offense. Cash with the ground pinch, and Vatira had to jump for that. Oh, no, a miss, and Rise, they'll send it away. Joyo, oh my goodness, he's jumping up early. And he got the 50 on that. And he got the... What in the world?
Oh, Archie's got to recover. He's stuck. He's stuck.
Backward.
Oh, Queso. Oh, they had a defender stuck on the crossbar, but still Cash is keeping it locked in the corner. Here comes Joyo again, denied by Arju, and somehow Misfits get away with one as it goes back downfield, and Queso have to play more defense.
And that's what I mean. Queso will make a play. It is just a matter of time. Misfits, they're going to have to really, again, play up to the speed. We have to see Game 5 Misfits at this point. Oh, wait, that pitch might do a good chance of starting it. Cash got a piece of the ball, but still not enough.
You saw almost everyone from Queso jump on that play. Knew that Cash was already up for that read. As long as someone touches that ball, it's safe. Another light touch there from Arju. Misfits don't want to be too overzealous. Matane lets it drop, couldn't get 2 touches onto it. And Joyo weaves around and almost made it dangerous. Cash picking up a demo on the backside. Vatira's got a demo on the Cash. And Cash coming back in. Or excuse me, Arju coming back in, not Cash. Matane on the backboard. The rest of Queso sitting around midfield. Rise being a great distributor for Vatira and Joyo. Vatira lets it hang for Joyo. And Cash got the catch again on the backboard. Vatira forces the 50 back to Rise. Rise pops this up in front. Screening across the net. Rise got 2 touches and nothing in front of the box, but Vatira's got a full tank and full space. Back up against the wall, and Matane's there.
Ooh, got 50 out in front. Misfits now. Again, this is exactly what they're looking for, but they got to be too careful not to commit too much. Good on Cash to get that challenge. Otherwise, Queso would have had everything set up.
If Cash hadn't have turned his car, if he had waited for Matane's touch to come, I'm not sure if he knew Matane was playing so closely, but that could have been a 3rd goal. Now here comes Vatira the other way. 2 touches, just missed it. No goal. Cash got the 50, and Joyo's racing back for protection. Barely hanging on to that ball. Cash harassing him in front. Matane's got 12 boosts, just forces the 50, but Joyo got the ball over him, and Arju has to protect the retreat.
Oh, he does, though. That light touch, didn't for him to catch it on the wall. At that point, he's forcing a 50, which is buying more than enough time for Misfits to be able to get back. But this is still dangerous. Oh, just barely. Defense was there.
Vatira's getting closer and closer to the net. They have to find a way to keep him off if they want to make the lead happen. Oh, saved again. Vatira diving in front of it. Can they get the transition? Cash is on top of him. Rise stuffs Cash in the corner. And a transition coming for Queso? No, Matane stuffs Joyo in front. And Rise, a little stutter. I don't know what the equivalent of a stutter step is in car language, but Cash puts this one up. Vatira's got another save. All the defense is great for Queso, but they need to get down the field.
Here's a start. Vatira's just going to have to send that one way away. They don't have time on the clock. Final 10 seconds.
Pass from Joyo. Shot from Rise. It's wide. Vatira's there. Off the crossbar. It's bounced out. Goal! With 5 seconds remaining. Team Queso have tied it up.
Misfits had it, but one too many challenges got through, and Vatira barely scored on the first try. Rise was there to clean it up, and all of a sudden it's anybody's ball game.
We could be going to a Game 7 overtime, but there's time left on the clock. Matane gonna play the defense, and Joyo doesn't get a good touch on it. Oh, I think Matane can thank his lucky stars. In fact, he couldn't get a solid touch. Hang on.
He's gonna kill it.
All right, Game 7 overtime. Golden goal to move to the loser final.
Did not think the lower bracket was starting out this way, but my goodness. Have these players showed up and they're ready to perform. Cash in the air to set it up. Matane's waiting. Vatira hits it to Matane. Matane to Joyo. I say it as if they're teammates. They're on the other team.
Vatira gonna get the clear out. But Misfits, they got midfield. Cash, that's a hard touch. Rise is gonna be able to defend that. Now Matane up against Rise. He's got him beat, but has to chase his ball down. Actually, Arju's there. Just goes off the crossbar. Joyo left flipping, and Rise has control. Cash and Matane back now. Cash got the ball off of him. Light shot from Vatira. Double commit from Misfits, but it was good enough for a save. Arju denied by Rise. Rise coming up in front of it. The ball hangs, and Joyo trying to cut off the retreat. Vatira coming to help him out. Queso, you think they're going to develop something here on offense, and they might. Joyo wins a big 50. Cash gets up in front. Queso don't want to commit.
Queso low on boost. Rise is the only one with 100 boost. We just saw a boost steal from Vatira. Now Misfits are going to have to try to battle out. All it takes is for them to have a little bit more, and then maybe they could have set something up. Now they're going to have to play things from their own half.
Popped up. This might be a ball for Cash, but all he can do is let it fly. Joyo letting it go for Rise. Here comes Rise down the field. Off the backboard. Saved again by Cash. Vatira's on the backside. Pass over to Joyo. Denied again, this time by Matane. Arju gets it for the challenge. Misfits need a clear. They get the 50, but Vatira has Arju about stuck on the back wall with no boost. And Arju gets the best touch over Vatira. Matane trying to kick it back out. Rise has missed the ball, but Joyo's there to clean it up. And just when you think a whiff might end the push, Queso somehow find the next touch to keep the push alive. But now Misfits have gotten the clear, and they're back to the blue half.
It could have been a chance there. Vatira is taking that corner boost. Was in a prime position. We got Aqua. That's a double bump. Rise last back, though. He's going to be able to get a piece of it and gets that in midfield past Matane. This is getting real sloppy real soon.
Oh, it really is. You're seeing a lot more whiffs, a lot more miss touches, excuse me. And everyone's getting chipped. Another hard clear for Misfits. Here comes Rise. Back to Joyo. Vatira playing Headhunter. He's looking for a demo to give his team the win, but couldn't find any metal across the grass. Here comes Matane and pops the ball back out for Misfits. He can't come up with that 50, but Archie was playing him close. Now in the corner, Vatira waits as he knows he has the space, but Cash is going to close the distance quickly. Matane misses the ball again, and Rise, he gets demoed, but Vatira's playing it close, and again the follow-up, keeping Queso in it.
I mean, that demo kept Misfits in it. The 2v1 situation, I don't think anyone from Misfits is stopping Queso in a 2v1 situation. That being said, they're still alive. We're approaching the 3-minute section here in overtime, and Queso on top of the ball. Misfits have been battling. It's just coming down to who can keep consistent.
No one can come up with a touch on Misfits. Vatira, hard shot, he knows it. Goal! Queso have done it! They've qualified for the Los Angeles Major, and they move to the loser final!
Look at Rise, the pre-flip to that one. Perfect angle to get past two. Team Queso showing up and clutching out the series.
Wow. What a series. Oh, man. I need a quick breath, Daz. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. I need to take a breath because that was absolutely insane.
I mean, this series had a lot, like the development of the teams, how things started to change up as the series went on was just, I mean, it was phenomenal. Obviously, you can see Misfits very upset at that one. Their emotional team, but they played really good. They really did. And it just it comes down to, that overtime at the end of the day. But man, Queso, I mean, just when you think that Misfits have them on the edge, somehow, some way, they always make it happen.
Just all that momentum built, all that pressure built up, and it was a gritty series. We had a couple of nice looking goals that the pass into flip reset from Vatira in game 6 to force a game 7, and then just clinical work in game 7 to fight back, tie the game against Misfits with 5 seconds left, and after that, Daz, it was all done. Now, Queso have the momentum. Can they keep it going and get themselves into the grand finals? They've already qualified for the major, but Evil Geniuses stands in the way of BDS. Find out what happens after the break.